And what I want to talk to you about is how to come up with angles to sell stuff. So yesterday, I did an interview with Jared Glant from Grant Cardone's offices, and I was like, I wanted to know how the hell these dudes sold 26,400 freaking seats to their growth conference and counting. I bet they're 38,000 now. It's ridiculous, you know. And they were like, all right, man, basically what we did was we just approached the offer from multiple angles because they promoted since last February. So they've been promoting this thing for 11 months, which is a lot of promotion. So when you're like promoting something for 11 months, it's real hard just to go to the marketplace and be like, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. You have to like have an angle and then say buy my stuff from the different angles. So how do you come up with the angles, right? I'll give you two of them right now that are very, very helpful. And here they are. Oh, by the way, if forgot to make an offer, got to make an offer quite regularly in content. I typed in a real long URL in the comments. In theory, hopefully I did that right. If someone sees that, if you would cut and paste my comment and paste it a couple more times, that would be great, because who knows where it is. I tried to do it on my phone. That's a link to a very amateur setup type forum application where if you want to talk to Tyler in my office about using intent-based branding in your business, he'd be happy to talk to you. Just fill out some information. It'll kind of make sure we're a potentially good match, and then it'll take you to his calendar and stuff. I've been having people type branding in the comments. So I was like, hell, I could just send them straight to this forum and eliminate the extra step. So there's that little form in there somewhere, and if you want to talk to Tyler, fill that thing out. It's specifically about learning more information on our branding training that we do. Okay, now back to these angles. All right, so angle number one is the how-to angle. All right, so let's say you've got a book about, for whatever reason, I always use the term tomato gardening, like as if, who knows, maybe there is a book about tomato gardening, So let's say you have a tomato gardening book, and you're going to your marketplace, you're making a lot of content, and you're pitching and whatever, and you're like, man, how am I going to make this tomato gardening book offer for this 37 millionth time? The how-to angle will help you like this. So if you look at the end result that they want to get, which is like going to be the tomato garden, bursting with tomatoes is what it's doing. And then they're over here and they just have like a crappy tomato garden. And you're like, okay, what do they got to do to get there? Like, what are the three main steps they have to do to get there? Each one of those steps can be a how-to. So you could have an angle, like let's say the first thing you got to do in a tomato garden is, I know nothing about tomato gardening. Pick the right fertilizer? Hell, I don't know. Let's say it's pick the right fertilizer, right? So angle number one that leads into your pitch could be, hey, here's how to pick the right fertilizer. Angle number two would be, here's the one thing you want to make sure is never in your fertilizer. All right, so let's take both of those angles. You lead with the content, hey, here's how to pick the right fertilizer. By the way, if you're really serious about tomato gardening, you should check out the book. So see how we segued it there? Angle number two is, hey, a lot of tomato fertilizers got this one mysterious ingredient and it can really mess you up, and here it is. Oh yeah, computer's back on. Updated it, probably deleted the whole computer. That would be so terrible. I shouldn't even joke like that. All right, so here's the mysterious ingredient that's really, really bad. Okay. And by the way, if you're really, really serious about tomato gardening, then you can go get the book, right? So that would be a second how-to angle. And anything that's related about that fertilizer, you could create a pitch around. The second angle is going to be current affairs. Relevant to current affairs. One of the great things if you sell marketing related stuff is you're almost never going to run out of angles because marketing changes all the time, and so that's really in our favor because new stuff is coming out. I wonder why I can't see where the lens is. I'm supposed to look at right there. I think I'm supposed to have eye contact there. Bugs me not to have eye contact. All right, so marketing stuff changes all the time. I remember when we created our the first iteration of intent-based branding. We discovered it in July. I think it's been painfully obvious this whole time. Anyway, so right when we started learning that stuff and promoting it and making offers for our branding agency, Facebook's organic reach plummeted. So that was a perfect angle of approach to use, current affairs angle. right? If you're selling anything, related to like business growth, anything about the economy is always going to be an angle. So let's say we're selling sales training, all right, and the stock market has gone down. Okay, you lead with the breaking news. It's no surprise, shocker, the stock market has gone down. Now you lead into some content, which is, hey, one thing, the stock market's going to go up, it's going to go down. One thing you're always going to need is more customers in your business, so you don't have to depend on the stock market. Here's a way to get more customers in your business, and now, if you're really serious about getting more customers, enroll in my customer getting class or whatever, right? So that is a current events angle. You could flip it. So if the stock market went up, you could say, the stock market's going up. It looks like we're going to have an amazing year. If you're like most people, you're probably wanting to have more money to invest in the stock market so you can grow that money. And one of the greatest ways to, sorry, my battery's weird. There we go. One of the greatest ways to grow money is to get more customers in your business, and then boom, segue into your offer for your sales training stuff, right? Speaking of segueing into an offer, how about that? See, that was beautifully done. I mean, come on, man. Speaking of segueing into an offer, this whole strategy, of continually making offers and finding new angles with which to make the offer is part of a bigger picture strategy called intent-based branding. Intent-based branding is basically made of three things. Number one, you post very useful content regularly on social media that makes an offer. And number two is if you do it right and it's good content, then that content can continue to work for your business, aka bring you traffic and customers over time. And thing number three is when you find content that's continually working, you can turn it into ads. If you're interested in deploying intent-based branding in your business, somewhere in the comments, if y'all would help me, that would be great. Somebody post that beautiful 75-foot long URL for me. That would be awesome. Somewhere in the comments is a little thing for me with a link to a Typeform application. If you want to speak with Tyler from my office, he'll be happy to find out all about what you're doing and brainstorm some ways to apply this to your business. And if you're interested in taking a training from us, then he'll tell you about it. And if you're not, you're good, right? No problem. Doesn't matter either way. The only catch is, though, is you do actually have to have a business. You need to be able to sell something. Otherwise, we're just branding nothing, right? So that is the caveat there. So those are your two angles, right? And there's tons of them out there, but a little bit of creativity, and you're never gonna run out with angles from which you can approach your offer. So again, to summarize, number one is the how-to angle. So anything related to their objective, you lead with, here's how to do this one step to meet your objective. And then the second one is current events. Any relevant current events that can be tied into the outcome that your product promises. Both of those are great factories for not only content, but for angles of approach in terms of what you're going to sell. I'm getting some questions about this thing behind me. This is a giant painting of a bull. It came with the house. We leased this house. We've been here 3 years. It's an obnoxiously big house. We're moving out of it here soon. We've really enjoyed our time here. We're moving to Florida. But this was here the whole time. Kind of a cool thing. This is my office here. This was a game room. I'm sitting at our executive conference table. Look, I feel like a YouTuber now. I'm sitting at our executive conference table, speaking very seriously because I'm at a serious league table. Whenever you're at a table like this, it's necessary that you speak in this tone of voice. I never use this table ever. But I thought, hey, maybe we'll have clients here and they'll sit at this table and we'll do businessy stuff. Never do it. I sit there. I mean, that's basically all of my gear. So I'm holding my phone right now, obviously, on this little tripod. And my entire universe of technical gear is right there. Laptop with some external monitors. That's it. Nothing fancy. Works really, really cool, man. Really good. All right, y'all. It's getting late. All right, I'm going to try to wind down, see if I can get some sleep, and then wake up and do that presentation, do it a little better in the morning. Don't want to let anybody down, Thank y'all for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll see you later.